funny. This is the greatest thing ever. We thought we were live the whole time.
Hey, Baka! Yes! Hey, Baka! Yeah, they're getting a lot of views. 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 Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah! Hey, Baka! Yeah, there's something fun about meeting, your people in the cruise community. It's just amazing how you feel like you're already friends, even though you've never met. Hey, Baka! Yeah! Yeah! Yes! Yeah! Oh, man.
Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby.
Happy Wednesday.
Ooh,
It's
baby.
show night, and well, I'm hanging out at the mattress showroom with our best friend Wanda Perlman. You know why? Because tomorrow is Wanda's birthday. So we're here testing out some of the mattresses.
Oh my gosh, shut up! Oh my gosh.
Check this one out. Oh, yeah. So make sure you wish Wanda a
Would
happy
you knock
birthday
it
in the
off?
comments. And remember, just a second, honey, I'm coming for gas.
Hey, Baka! Yes!
have a I know I brought it on myself. Actually, I find feet actually very beautiful.
The Ship Show.
Welcome to the Ship Show, Mother Cluckers.
Oh boy, hold on.
Hey yo, Coop, my name is Kevin Counts, coming at you live and direct to announce that for Bug October this year.
Oh my God, that is so funny. We thought we were live forever. But the funny part is, right at the beginning, I'm like, Larry, did you like the razzle dazzle at the end? And you were like, yeah, I did. You didn't even say it.
Well, I was fiddling with my iPad,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to ruin
Yeah,
the moment.
but then the other... The best part is, I'm like, Larry, check out my new belt buckle. And I'm like, I've been making belt buckles. And then I'm like, hey, Larry, I got a gift for you.
We talked about way more than just that.
Right,
though.
but at any
And
one of those
finally-
moments, you could have said, I'm not seeing anything, Rooster.
Okay, well, I started seeing all these super chats, and they're like, let's go. Let's get this party started. And I'm like, I don't know if we are live.
I don't know what overdriving means, but I assume that means my my volume. But
I must say we were talking for 20 minutes.
we were easily thinking we were live for 20 minutes, and we were not, y'all.
This will go down in the Ship Show archive.
I mean, I've done a lot of things in my time, but never. The audio usually doesn't work, but it's. I don't trust you, Trevor, one bit. So if I'm too loud or whatever, let me know. But for the super chats, you know, I was trying to play some stuff, right? And I even said, you know, like,
why is there no sound?
yeah, like I'm like, there's no sound, and then Larry goes, "Are we live?" So this is for you, Brandy Bright, for the super chat.
For the
Oh,
Ship
great.
Show.
There is no
by
audio on
John.
anything.
What's up, shipheads? My old pals John, York, and Dave.
I don't know why.
Well, wait,
all
Dave's
the
not there.
there we
man.
go. Here we go. I can fix
Anyway,
that.
they want me to pop in and say hi to
properties.
this cooperative, C-O-O-P, co-op.
Give me a second.
And they also
There we
wanted
go.
you to know that the mother hen, Liz, is watching you, so you best behave. What's that? B-A-G-A-A-A-A, bag. You best behave, bag. That's what it says.
Bagok. I mean, come on. Bagok. Come on, Tommy. Get it together. And Tess, I wanted to thank you for the super chat as well. That was very generous and kind of you. So thank you for that. And this is this for you.
Hey guys, Tom Bergeron coming to you from my backyard. Let me get into my character here. Hello there, shipheads. It's your old pal Tom. Speaking of old pals, I just wanted to drop in and say hi to my friends John and York. Hope you guys are doing well. Anyways, enjoy the Ship Show, Coop. Much like my shows, it will be epic. Then I'm supposed to make a chicken sound. That's a step too far. All the best, you guys. Take care. Stay safe.
A lot of people don't realize that me and Tom go way back, way back. Tom and I have known each other for a long time. As a matter of fact, I made a decision at one point in my career to host a ship show instead of America's Funniest Home Videos, and you guys see how that worked out. So suck it, Tom. You know what I'm saying? I kid. But we got another super chat, though, I thought. We did. We got one from Linda Land. Oh, Linda Land. Okay. Thank you, Linda Land.
Thank you, all three of you.
So
all three of you. Thank you.
One more for Linda Land.
I'm just looking for that. See who the three were for. That was right at the moment I realized we weren't live.
See if I can find
boy.
this. Let's see if I can find this.
We already covered like 5 topics too.
I know, we were literally, I promise you all, we were chatting.
We're gonna hit the rewind. Literally, we covered 5 topics. Oh my goodness. Whew.
Why is this not? Let me see what's going on here. Oh boy. Well,
the Mississippi, her tender, flavorful chicken is handcrafted by Emma herself. A perfect mix of spice and pleasure. It's sure to make any chicken stand up and take notice. Chicken not your thing? Then don't forget about Emma's pulled pork. Guaranteed to get the juices running. Emma's Cafe. Food, friends, and fun.
there you go. Thank you so much, everyone, for the support, for the super chats. Always appreciated. I mean, for crying out loud, for the quality product that we give you, it's worth the super chat. Thank you very much. But anyway, can I just say that, like we already said once before, Larry, we said it best when we said, oh, the batteries are dead on my Golden Girls button. But thoughts and prayers to our girl, Lindy Lou, who remains hospitalized, still on the ventilator. Mr. Z has been giving us updates. He's presently sitting in the hotel room, mauling Girl Scout cookies as we speak, and Tess hates it when the batteries die. Okay, Tess. Okay. I know where you're going there. Listen, I'm talking about Lindy Lou. You know our thoughts and prayers are with you. We love you, Lindy Lou. Mr. Z, we're praying for you as well. Hang in there, my friend. You're doing the best you can in a very difficult situation, and there are many people grateful for you, and we're here for you, okay? But we do want to continue to pray for our girl, Lindy Lou. Mr. Z did mention that there could be some possible developments in the coming days, so hopefully that's good news, and we'll wait to see. And I know for a fact that she would be smiling right now, Mr. Z, so that's why we go. And then one other thing, before we get going, we had talked about a bunch of stuff, Larry. We talked about golf. I showed you my belt buckle. I've been designing belt buckles I've been putting magnets on all my belt buckles with ball markers, like my COOP Cruise pin ball marker. And I made a special one for Larry right here. It's the Darts and Carts Doodles edition ball marker. And look, Larry, it's even got an arrow on it for you to mark your ball. Oh, boy. You know, so that's a gift for you, my friend.
Thank you. Very nice.
when I see you next, and a sleeve of darts and golf balls. So there you go. We also talked about TGL Golf. That was amazing, Larry. We won't go into the details. But, hey, Team Atlanta, props to you. TGL Golf was fun to watch. If you didn't watch it, you missed out, I'd say. You know, I know a lot of people don't understand watching golf. I love watching golf, especially the 15 seconds before they hit the ball. I like to watch what they do. I like to watch their movements. I like it all. But that was fun. Then that was the Cliff Notes version of what we had done to that point. I had even showed a video for Brandy Bright's super chat at that time. When Larry said, I think, are we live? And I looked over, I said, well, I'll be a suck egg mule.
I kept looking at comments trying to, and I'm like, why are they saying this stuff? Like,
yeah, so then we said, okay.
I couldn't get it. I couldn't get I was like, what is with my iPad? I can't. Why am I not seeing the show live? So everything you were showing me that is, yes, I like it. It looks great.
I saw.
I thought I was screwing up on my end.
Kevin Brubaker says watching golf is like watching flies copulate. I mean, you're wrong, Kevin, but you know, you're a Chicago guy who likes Chicago things. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say.
I would just say this, and I don't want to go on and on about golf, but if you're a golfer, you appreciate what these guys can do. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the thing about it is anybody can get a hole in one. Anybody can get lucky and get a hole in one. That is the great thing about amateurs playing the game of golf. Anybody can hit a 50-foot putt. It'll happen. Where not everybody can hit a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. It's like, so the sport of golf, the people that like us that play it, we can relate to it because we can have a great hole. We can have a great shot. I mean, not like these pros, but
right. We can have a great shot.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah. But these guys it's you have to be a golfer to appreciate watching golf. But if you really like golf and you watch it with other people and you can talk about the situations and that, to me, it's very enjoyable. And if it's not, the action doesn't heat up, it's a perfect time to take a nap on a Sunday afternoon.
It is. Well, and you can always hit the rewind button if you look up at the leaderboard and something happened, you're like, whoa. Let me hit the rewind. I really do enjoy that. But then we got to the COOP Cruise stuff, and that's when we realized that we were not, in fact, live. And, you know, it goes that we've never done that before. But I'm glad that we did tonight. I'll be honest with you. But I did so I was talking about one thing in particular when we came to this conclusion that we weren't live. And that one thing was that the dates that we gave last week, we apologize for this, but unfortunately, the dates we gave last week for the COOP Cruise were ill-advised. For one, it conflicted with Easter, which, full disclosure, I'm saying this only because I put a lot of pride in this, and I left it to Kelly to choose the dates so that I didn't cause problems like I did with the last one. And the dates she gave me are the dates we chose. However, she didn't realize since this year's Easter was the 20th, that next year's is the 5th. And the dates that we gave for the upcoming COOP Cruise, the first leg was Easter. That's a game change. That's a stop
for a lot of people. So the cruise left on Monday. The cruise left on Monday, which means if you are a typical cruiser, you have to fly in the day before, which meant you'd be traveling the day before, which was Easter.
Well, no, I believe it left on the 5th, and Easter was the 5th.
Oh, okay, could be.
But And yes, I am, because I said, listen, you tell me the dates. And she said spring break. We found the dates, and those are the dates we used. And, but I say all of this to say that there are going to be new dates. They are going to be a little bit later, and the itinerary is actually better. And it doesn't conflict with the Jimmy Jamboree, which, truthfully, last week, if you were watching, you could probably tell by my reaction that I had no idea. I did not factor that into I just went with the dates that I got from the ball and chain, and I didn't factor that in. And when I found that out, that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. Shut her down. We're going to come up with new dates. And I'm not going to give you the dates just now. Kelly's what was that? Oh,
What was what?
There's police. Larry didn't even notice.
Oh, they're they just passed my condo. I don't even have the door open.
It's like a month later. It's like a month later. Like it's not. But I will say this: it may. I mean, it's hard enough to navigate around all the different dates that everybody has. I felt bad about the Jimmy's Jamboree thing because that was the last thing I was trying to do when we came up with that. But the next dates that we came up with are real close to the big European thing that Jimmy and Sharon have. So it's going to be what it is. But I can tell you, by no means are we trying to step on anybody's toes, but it is going to be 2 back-to-back cruises, the same 2 ships. It's going to be about a month later. The official dates will come out by the end of this week. I can promise you that. And we'll talk to Sharon, make sure that it's open for booking. But it's actually a little bit better. And I say that because now, instead of a 5 and a 4 day, it's 2 5-day cruises. Okay. And the prices are almost identical, if not cheaper on one of them. But instead of Labadee, we've got Coco Cay, and there's a Nassau stop involved, and Cozumel, and Half Moon Cay, and Celebration Key. So we're hitting both private islands, right? And the best part is we can do a group excursion on each leg. Nassau, Larry, where do you think we're going?
Okay, so
we already did this once. We already did this once when we thought we were live. I promise you.
It's just like deja vu.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. Because you're like, can you think of any good place to do an excursion in Nassau? And I said, yeah, Junkanoo.
He said Junkanoo.
Junkanoo. And he's like, well, maybe we'll go there. But
I said close.
That is how long we were talking, and how long we were talking in great detail about things.
Yeah, we really were.
We were only talking.
We were crushing it, y'all. We were crushing it.
We were having a grand time. I can tell you that. We only had 2 for an audience.
Yeah, it was just him and I. It was just as much fun.
So I'm going to throw a little curve in on this one now, because if a lot of people really crap on Nassau, they really do. And I will tell you this, I do not. I have been there a lot of times, and I always have a good time, and I tend to do different things a lot. And I've never been to, I can't remember the name of that great big resort there. I've never been there. So that's never been one thing that I've done. But if you haven't been there in a while, that port area is really changing. I mean, it is really becoming nice. It's new buildings, new attractions, and it is completely different. I hear people say, I won't even get off the ship in Nassau. It's like, if you haven't been there in a while, you gotta go there with an open mind, because the Margaritaville there.
But where are we going?
Well, we're starting at the Bearded Clam, of course.
Yes.
We're starting at the Bearded Clam. But after that, there's so many things to do now. And I will say this, there's a misconception that if you go to Margaritaville, you have to buy a day pass. And that is false. You do not. You have to buy a day pass if you want to use the pool and the lazy river, all that they have. But just to go to the resort, you can go there, you can walk around, you can shop, you can have a drink. Trevor and I did it, and that's where I left my bag with all the stuff in it.
Wait, what's Rick? Rick Elke's talking about artificial insemination in the mix here. I don't know where that comes from.
I don't know either.
I did see the conversation going on there for a while where people were asking, and we talked about this too in our fake live stream, that Dogo Me is Rick Elke, sexy hair. We did talk about that, okay?
Yeah, we did.
Jen Will Cruz was laughing at Larry's laugh, and Trevor says that a group excursion to the county jail. Now, that being said, if we do end up in Margaritaville, it's quite possible, which this may give you deja vu, that you could pick up in the Lost and Found what you left behind last time.
I was so enamored with the bartender we had, because he was just, I mean, when I say this guy was ripped, I mean, like, I made him come over. Now,
you made him come over.
I made him come over, and I said, I have to squeeze your arm.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. He was
no.
He was ripped. I mean, Trevor can say it. This guy, yeah. This guy's arms were massive, and I mean, he was cut. He was the funniest guy, and we were the only ones in the bar. Trevor and I were the only ones in this bar, and he was hilarious. And
Larry was just like, ooh, baby.
I was like, oh my God. I felt like, man, I need to go to the gym now. This guy it was funny. Well, anyway, the bar was empty, and I don't remember the stories I told, if it's when we weren't live or if we were live. But we left the Bearded Clam, and I passed this t-shirt place, and this girl was like, I could see this look of depression on her face. And I said, what's wrong? She's like, I've sold nothing all day. So I bought everybody on the COOP Cruise a t-shirt, along with other things they bought me.
And a big giant wooden dong. A big giant wooden dong. Like this big that I bought for him.
It was a bottle opener.
No. That's what Mike Williams sent you, was a dong. I bought you a freaking 10-inch girth this big, like huge, giant wooden dong from the same girl you bought the T-shirts from.
That's all I'm lost and found right now.
Somebody needs to replace that. Mike Williams sent you a bottle opener, but we're going to get you another one. I actually tasked Tony Jackson in Curacao. He had, in Aruba, he had to go to a gift shop and find a wooden dong, buy it, but then he had to come back 10 minutes later and try and return it. That was the challenge. Be like, hey, I'm sorry, this didn't work out for me. And try and return it. And I was going to make a special pin for him, but he didn't do it. He didn't. But how funny would that have been if he'd have gotten video buying the dong and then walking, doing a shot and then coming back and be like, hey, I'd like to return this. It's not working out.
And here's the thing. The nice thing about the Bearded Clam, it's right there. It's like right as you walk through the port. It's right there. It's a nothing walk to get there. And then there's all kinds of other new things right there. I think they were building an aquarium even last year. It was almost done.
Rick?
And then
we haven't seen
Margaritaville was right there too. And then the beach to the right. I remember going there. We went on the adventure on like the third cruise that they had started up again, where you cruised out of Nassau. And the night before, we went over there, and it was just this literally a tiki bar, and we had the best time sitting there talking to the bartender and some other locals. I really like Nassau. I guess I'm different, but I really like going to Nassau.
Kevin Brubaker has an idea that's actually intriguing to me. It's very intriguing to me. Kevin, I'm gonna give you a task. I want you to find out what the occupancy maximum is and the total cost. I'll send you the dates because that would be legit as ship if we did that. Now, that being said, if I had the kind of pool that some of the people on Adventure of the Seas on that first cruise back, everyone but me got a free over-the-water cabana. But I would like to know what that cost would be if you broke it up over a certain number of people. Kevin's talking about us renting all of the over-the-water cabanas. I like that.
I will say this. So the cost of things there have really gone down. They have really gone down. On the last cruise I went, I booked about 5 things. I canceled all of them and rebooked it for about half the price. Now, those are not inexpensive, but I think the pricing has become more reasonable because when you go to COOP, you see those things and they're just all sitting there. Because if it's $2,000, 2 people aren't going to typically go there, and you can't afford that.
There's something that tells me that there's a 7-person maximum in those things.
I was thinking 10. I was thinking it would be 10, which makes it doable. But I mean, it's an expensive deal, but it's like something that's pretty cool. I would just say that if that is too much money, going to the new adults only place they put in, that is great. I mean, it is like really great.
Yeah, I haven't been there, so I'm looking forward to that.
And they really lowered the price. When we went, they started off, it was like $85, and I booked it. And then I kept looking, and then, I mean, I do get a fairly decent discount on things at times. I wound up getting it for $35 a person. And the main reason we went, that I wanted to do it, is because it was in December, and the pool's heated.
Well, let me ask you this.
That regular pool will be freezing.
Are we going to COOP on Romania?
No, because we go out of Galveston.
So we're going where?
We go to Costa Maya and Cozumel.
Whose idea was this?
Well, I don't mind those stops. And we already booked Paradise Beach.
Yeah, I don't mind either. I was just...
We booked Paradise Beach, and then we just have to totally finalize.
Okay, so that would be 3,000 for 8 people. So that's a lot. So that's not going to work. That's almost 400 per person.
Yeah, that is a lot.
With tip. So
but if you spend, so the thing is, if you have the drink package and you go to the new beach club, your drink package works there. It's I mean, literally, I paid $35 a person. And to me, they have an exclusive area. And here's the thing about it. Their beach area with chairs and all that is really nice. We just hung out at the pool the whole time, but it has an infinity pool that looks out. It is really, really worth the money.
We got breaking news, Larry.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
Oh, I'm just saying that is a great option. If we had our group on this last cruise there, they could easily have accommodated 130 people. Easy. I mean, the place is massive. It is really, really big, especially all the areas that they have out at the beach. It's a really cool place. I would highly recommend anybody to go there if they go to Coco Cay. So the last time I was at Coco before that was we did the Icon, and it was right around this time of year. And that main pool was freezing. I mean, it was freezing cold. Like, it took you a while once you got in it to get used to it, and it never was comfortable. It was cold. So a heated pool to me in cold weather climate is definitely worth it. And the pool's huge. I don't know how they heat the whole thing. It is absolutely huge.
I don't know why I can't hear it, but it's okay. Garrett just said text Caitlin the dates. Maybe they can go.
It's not a maybe. He's not.
Oh, it's
pitching
always.
another
Listen,
one.
let me tell you something. I love my girl Caitlin. I never expected her to become that lady. And I love her to death, and I know she's looking out for the best interest, but she's become that mom that's doing all the TikTok stuff, like, the suck on the steak for the things. Tutti Frutti. That's what she needs. Eliana needs Tutti Frutti, and she needs minced up turkey and things like that. She does not need bone marrow, because let me tell you, if she's got my genes in her, she's smart, and bone marrow is not going to make her smarter. Okay, she's good to go. She's got the Roosters genes in there somewhere. Okay, I feel like Caitlin will be like, oh, nope. There's something on the ship that we can't go. Caitlin, you're coming. COOP Cruise 2026. We lost Larry. What happened to Larry?
Yes, no.
He fell out, but you're back.
I think I'm back.
Yes. Garrett
I'll
said
pop up on
thank
your
you.
screen. There you go.
Yeah, Caitlin, we got to talk. We got to have a little conversation about this first baby syndrome stuff you got going on. I grew up on SpaghettiOs. I grew up on Kraft macaroni and cheese, and I'm doing just fine. I can tell you this. Well, maybe I'm not doing just fine, but I'll tell you what. If somebody to have me suck on a steak, I probably wouldn't be doing any better or worse. Is all I'm saying. Let's stop that.
So I was drawing a blank for a second. The adult place now is Hideaway Beach Club. The Coco Beach one that serves lobster and steak for lunch, that's still pretty expensive. But the Hideaway Beach Club is very reasonable, and it's definitely worth doing.
Well, so somebody asked when I'm not going to give official dates. Whoa. It needs an adult signature. Okay, Julie, I'll message you back. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Now I'm getting close. Okay, here we go. Bear with me here. Just to give you a general date here, I'm sorry. I feel stupid for even announcing the dates that we did. I just didn't know it was Easter. Kelly didn't know it was Easter, and that shut it down instantly anyway. But we're looking more towards April 27th to the 7th of May. There's going to be conflicts with the Sharon at Sea cruise that's coming up weeks after. I apologize for that, but we got to squeeze something in, and I can't do it in the school year, much like other people couldn't do it in the school year last year or for the last one. That's the way it is. That's the way it's gonna be. And if that upsets anyone, I apologize. But that's the dates we got.
What needs to be talked about again, though, is there was a reason for doing 2 shorter ones. So if you can only do one, if you only do the first one, do the first one. If you only do the second one, do the second one. If you can do both, even better. But it gave more people an opportunity to take part. So the last one, we put out there a good 2 years in advance. This one is a little over a year, so not as much notice.
Listen, if it's better for everyone,
going to do one.
I swear, if it's better for everyone that we push it until 2026 or 2027, that's fine too. I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is, trying to jockey and jive around other people's dates when you know what I'm saying? But there's no ill intention. We just had so much fun, and everybody was asking when the next one would be. We thought we'd make it a yearly thing. But if it's better to push it till later, we could do that too. But I can't do it in October. I can't do it in November. I can't do it in June. I can't do it in July. I can't do that. So what I'd really like to do is keep it an annual thing.
But what you and I could work on, besides these dates, we could also start looking at something all the way out to 2027 also.
And that's a good call.
So I think that's what I will do. I will look out for 2027 also. So that way, because I know, it's just gotten to be this way that the price of cruising has gotten the prices just keep going up that you find if you can book it out a couple years in advance, when that date comes, you realize what a bargain you got. So I have one in September on the Celebrity Beyond. And I'm just going to tell you, I got a balcony room and it was $2,400. And I looked it up a couple weeks ago and it's now $3,200. So it's the prices just keep going up. So besides these dates, we can start talking about 2027, put something out there for people that have already booked and aren't able to book anything more for 2026. But I agree with John. I had so many people say to me on the cruise, not when we got back, but on the cruise, I'm having so much fun. Please tell me you're doing another one next year.
Yeah.
Including the people I brought from St. Louis. So that was one thing I did talk about
if the group is big or if the group is small, that's not the important thing. It's that we're a family, we're a group, and that's exactly what we were on the last one. And the last thing I want to do is add additional stress to anybody's situation trying to meet a date. So, like I said, we'll do one for 2026. That's fine. But I agree with Larry 100%. Let's get the 2027 one figured out before the month is over so that everyone has time. And if it steps on anybody's toes, you can suck it!
That's the great thing. When you go out 2 years, there's not a whole lot of things that are booked already. So.
Well, I do realize this, though. And this is what it comes down to. And this is what I think a lot of people overlook, is that spring break was in play. And that's the dates we chose. That's the dates Kelly gave us. And we chose the spring break dates because they worked for us, and we didn't know that it was Easter. So we also didn't know it was
you're
the
talking
Jimmy's.
about next year. But this year, did we luck out or what? Because when you gave me the dates that you could do, and I started looking at all different cruises, I kept thinking the one that we won on the Horizon would work the best because college spring breakers were not going to do that cruise.
Well,
I knew it.
But you know what's
I
even
knew
crazier?
They would not.
Like Rhonda said, when we got off the Horizon, that very next week, there were 3,000 people or 3,000 kids on board. Could you imagine?
So if you don't know, Rhonda did a back-to-back, and she posted on day one, there's 3,000 kids on this ship. 3,000. I have nothing against children. I swear to you, I do not.
Oh, Larry,
but
yes,
3,000. Oh my goodness! I mean, I get kicked between the legs and the head when I get in the pool and kids already. But that Horizon, wow, we lucked out.
Kevin Brubaker has a great idea though. He says, "Okay, I'm gonna get my CDL in the next couple months. We'll all meet up at the Cump's house, jump on a bus, and ride down to the COOP cruise." 2026. What do you think, Larry?
Wait, we're going to travel by bus? Why do we have to choose? Why do we have to choose the Cump's house?
Well, you know, Midwest, Terre Haute, Indiana. It's the breadbasket. I don't know.
I don't know. St. Louis sounds a hell of a lot better than Terre Haute. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, but then he's got to go east to go west.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
But I mean, if he has his CDL, yeah. Could you imagine a bus ride from St. Louis to Orlando?
Do you know how many stops we'd have to make at liquor stores, like to keep the party going?
Yeah. No.
Oh my goodness! But
P. Diddy was not on that cruise. Kevin Brubaker, I get the joke. But listen, this is all I'm gonna say. By no means on any level, and I've learned this more recently because I've been butthurt when people have other people have booked cruises that conflicted with cruises that we had without even discussing it with me. But I realized that you can only go so far trying not to step on other people's toes, right? It's impossible. So if it works for people, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And by no means, please understand there is no ill will intended. That's all I'm saying.
So I will say this. I told the story when we thought we were live, but there were 10 of us from St. Louis that went on the COOP cruise. 3 of the 10 had never cruised. Another 4 had only been on one. And so the 4 that had been on one, we introduced them to cruising. And of course, they were like, not unfortunately, but they had kids in college still. So they're like, we just can't go that often till our kids are done and out of college. And then the other 3 were the 3 that hadn't cruised before. They were very excited about going, but they were still skeptical that they'd be claustrophobic, like not enough to do, just trapped. The things you hear from people that have never cruised before. And I said, I don't even know. So we left on Saturday, right? Saturday, yep. Sunday. I think we were still Monday, which is really the 3rd sea day. And they were like, please tell me you're doing another one next year. I'm having so much fun. They all were like, we want to do this again. I'm like, we haven't even gotten to a port yet. We haven't even made it to a stop. And they were just like, this is great. You and John have done such a great job of, they just like the fact of, and I told them this, how people they had never met before are just approaching them, having conversations, where you're from, and just everybody's so friendly. And it all started with the meetup that we did at the hotel. And
Yep.
so literally there were people on the cruise coming up to me saying, "Are you doing one next year? Do you have any plans?" It was just a success, and everybody. I don't know anybody that didn't have a great time. And if you didn't have a great time, I apologize, and I wish I would have known to try to change things. But I had a great time. I just felt like I didn't get to spend enough time with people as I would have liked to, but that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, but that's something I've thought about on every one of them. It's like, and for for the most part, that's the best part, is that everybody's understanding of that. Not everybody, but most everybody is.
And I swear I did my best. I even the people from St. Louis, they knew, like they were just like, "We've never seen you as such a social butterfly." When I coach hockey, I don't coach hockey to make friends. That's not my goal. So I have a different approach. And when you start interacting with some parents more than others, then there's whispers behind your back. He's showing favoritism. So I don't really distance myself from parents, but I don't go out of my way to socialize with them. I just try to become neutral, and like we go out of town, my assistant coach and I, we go off and do our own thing. So they hadn't really seen me on a cruise, much less a group cruise.
Yeah, and didn't you say they were like, "We're not used to this social butterfly guy"?
Yeah, that's exactly what they said. So they're like, we treat you as family, and they do. The Brett and Trisha, if you met them, they invite me to their house on Christmas Eve because they know I don't have plans. So I have an open invitation to go to their house on Christmas Eve. So I do. I feel like they're my family. But they were like, we love you, but we see you as Coach Baum, and then we see you here. Our friend Corey, who's definitely the quietest, but still has a great time. He cornered me on day two. Day two, we were the first ones to save chairs. And he's like, "Larry, you're a damn celebrity on this ship." I'm like, "No.
You were."
No, I'm not a celebrity. I would just say I've cruised with a lot of these people before. And I kept telling them, you become friends. Like, really, not cruise friends. You become friends.
Brubaker's got a good idea.
Oh, he's full of great ideas.
But I'm liking him. New button. I pinned the dong on the willow pin. This is brilliant.
Oh my goodness. So
Linda Land, there is no cruise this year. Are you talking about next year?
We already did our one this year.
Yeah, she's like, "It's all good. I can't go this year." But we're talking about next year.
Yeah, this year we already did it. I have all kinds of cruises still planned for this year, and I'm looking forward to them all. They're all really different, and I'm very excited about going on my first celebrity. I do that in September, but they're all good. I have learned that the more you mix up your cruises between big ships, medium ships, smaller ships, newer, older, the better experiences that you get. You don't want to do the same type over and over and over. I was so surprised. How about the Carnival Spirit? Was that like the most amazing ship? And that was super small. I loved it too. Everybody on that group cruise loved it. So that just goes to show you, it doesn't have to be the biggest, newest to have a great time.
So here's what I think. Here's what I think. We need to get Todd Blount to print out some 3D printed wooden dongs with magnets or something to attach every time you get an opportunity. When you walk through the schooner bar on Freedom of the Seas, if you can get a picture with the dong on Willow, you get a pin. I don't know what we call that. We call it the Long John pin. I don't know.
You did hear there's going to be a cat fight on that ship, right?
Oh yeah, I did hear. We could call it the Morning Wood. I don't know. We'll work on that.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have quite the discussion about that on Romania.
But it was never about Willow having a dong, right?
No.
I don't know if that's the right play there. You just have to get a picture with Willow giving her a kiss. I think that's. Oh, Todd Blount's here. Todd Blount's here. He's like, please don't make me print out a bunch of wooden dongs.
Hello, Todd. Good to see you in the chat.
Todd, thank you and Trevor and Tess and everyone in their swag bags received miniature golden cocks or bronze cocks that Todd 3D printed for us specifically. He wanted to be on that cruise with us, but life happened. And he was still generous enough to offer his time and materials to print all that stuff out for us. So everybody, shout out to Mr. Todd Blount.
Yes. I met him on the Firenze. Cruise.
I haven't met Mr. Todd yet.
Such a nice man. He gave me Christmas ornaments. Such a nice man. But in those swag bags, everybody, and I mean everybody, rooted around right away. And that was the first thing they pulled out. They're like, look what I got. They were so excited about that. He did such a great job on those. Thank you, Todd.
Yep.
Great dude.
And Todd was also the man behind the earrings that I passed out to some of the people. The towel animal earrings and a couple other things like necklace charms and stuff. Todd Blount. I've enjoyed some of the conversations I've had with Todd. Me and Todd nerd out the same way. Like with the NFC chips, right? Todd was the one that turned me on to those NFC chips where you can stick them in your storage containers, and instead of trying to figure out what's in that container, you just hold your phone up to it, and it tells you what's in the container. That kind of thing. Me and Todd nerd out on the same level, and I can appreciate that man.
Well, when you meet him in person, it doesn't take long to figure out what a super, super nice man he is. And
there were only a couple.
Looking forward to cruising with you again. That's best I can say.
Brandoline, there were only a couple, and they were exhausted by the time we got to meet you guys. So, but don't worry, fear not. You will be cruising with Mr. Blount and family very soon. I'm sure of that, and you can personally request your own earrings. Mr. Z may have been a beneficiary of that, but he said that they put them on display in their cabin. So, Rhonda Carney got an elephant one. She said yes. Ready for next year, says Todd Blount. Cool. So,
all right, sounds
Larry,
good.
let's hit some of your key talking points before we go. That you have in your notes that you wanted to talk about.
I hate to be one to bring up negatives. I really, really do. But this is becoming a pet peeve of mine. And it's not just Carnival. It was Royal Caribbean, the last ones I've done too. Why is it now that you don't meet your room steward till sometimes day 3, day 4? Does anyone else find that odd?
That's never happened to me. That's never happened to me.
It happens to us all the time now. And here's the issue that I have. It's a small thing on Royal. It's a small thing to me, but it is a really big thing to Melissa. So, and I don't like to bring up status, but the status that I have, we get 2 robes to use for the week. But you have to request them. Well, how do you request them from your room steward when you don't see him till day 3 or 4 on a 7-day
Good night,
cruise?
Garrett. Hey, give Caitlin a good hug and a smooch, and give Eliana a smooch for Papa. We'll see you soon.
Okay, so on this last cruise, same thing. I had no robe. And here's the other thing. I bought things for the ship. I bought liquor that's to your room, even though I had the drink package. And it's like, how about how do you get a bucket of ice when you haven't met your room steward? So even I called and said, I haven't met my room steward. It's day 3. We would like a bucket of ice. We'll take care of it. Guess what? It never happened. It's like, I don't understand that. And I know that they have cut back on their staff and that, but it's like, I just find that hard to believe. I find that in the old days, if you were in your room in the afternoon on day 1 and the door was closed, there'd be a knock on your door and your room guard would be there. Not only would he be there to say hello, but he knew your names. He would say, Lawrence, Melissa, welcome back.
Not only did
what do
our
you
steward
need?
know our name, but many others did. They said, hello, Mr. John, every time I
Our guy had no clue who we were. And here's the other thing. It's not a big deal. I'm not making a big deal about it.
Wait, Carnival took all of Lindy Lou's liquor. What are you talking about, Mr. Z?
I don't know. That I don't know. It's I don't let anything get me down. I promise you that. I
We
don't.
know that.
I just think that's also at times. So we were trying, like before dinner, the group that we had, we'd go to a different place. And on the last night, I said, hey, we haven't been to that sports bar they have. On some of the other ships now, they do it like it's more of like guys that have been in the service type of bar. It's a great tribute. But this one was like a sports bar. It was smaller, but there was like 40 people in there. They had one bartender. They had one. And again, she knocked herself out trying to take care of everybody, but you're going to wait 20 minutes. You're going to wait 20 minutes to get a drink. I just found that there's just not enough staff at certain things. And then I just have a suggestion. So I've talked to different people about this. So let's just say it's a sea day. And the sea day, the pool decks are crowded. They're crowded. And I get it. It's a popular place to be. That's where I am all the time. So you go up to the Red Frog bar or the tequila bar, and you just want to get a beer. Well, there's going to be 10 people in front of you, and probably 9 of them are going to order some type of frozen drink. And again, there's like 2 bartenders. So how do you not just have Royal will do this on ships. They set up a temporary, just a guy in a cart with canned items, seltzers, high noons, beer, and you just go right to him to get your stuff, to just speed up the process. And I thought about it. It's like maybe they don't want that because they don't want you to get to 15. It'll slow you down in drinking. I don't know, but it just seemed like now the guys. I will say this: if you were at a pool, we were at a pool.
Sorry, Linda Land.
I told my friends this on day 1. We were at the back pool, and we were there right away. So there wasn't much going on. And I said to our friends, I said, don't worry. In a matter of no time, there's going to be a server coming around. And tomorrow on a sea day, I told asked the people that went with us on the last time they went, how often will the servers be around? He's like, oh, I don't know, every 5 minutes, maybe 4 minutes. Like they're constantly around. And I said, yeah, once the service here is great, but if you go to the bar to get to something, you're going to wait. There's just no way around that. And I mean, I would go there on a sea day. I'd go to the bathroom and I would just stop there. And after 20 minutes, there was no rhyme or reason to how they would wait on people either. It was just kind of weird. But after all that, I just think the service on most ships have gone down since the pandemic.
It has.
And I accept it. And with all of that said, I still rated this cruise a 9.5.
Yeah, I would rate it that as well. My
And
room
it
steward.
was for our group. It was because of our group and the interaction I had with all of our people and the interaction they had with each other. I would still give it a 9.5. It's going to have to take a whole lot for me to give an absolute 10, but
Well,
it was still
put
great.
it this way,
And
Larry. Looking at the cruise from the outside in, 9.56, something like that. My only real complaint, although I could say, because I did lose my toenail, because my room steward took 48 hours to get the closet door out of there. But again, he said, that's not my department. I called the appropriate people. They didn't come, right? That was the excuse I got. And it was my fault for kicking it in the first place. As I walked by, it wasn't his fault that I actually walked into it. But had it not been there, I wouldn't have lost a toenail, which is going to look ridiculous in St. John next week.
Just put a Band-Aid over it.
Yeah, but
Cover it up.
beyond that, my room steward addressed me by name every time, and many others did as well. They called me Rooster, which I thought was kind of funny. The only complaint I really have about anything on that is Victor. Victor, our server in the main dining room, was the biggest a-hole in the history of cruising dining that I've ever experienced. And if that, in the Marine Corps, we had a thing called, he's got a case of the cluckets, where when you're skating out in your last couple weeks before you get out of the Corps, you get a case of the cluckets. Victor had a case of the cluckets so strong that he was rude to Jamie Wilhite, of all people. Jamie Wilhite! How are you rude to Jamie Wilhite? Victor was. And that's my only complaint about any of it. So,
and our guy was terrible. I don't know his name. We could have easily had Victor too, because we were right around the corner from you. But
Victor was a Victor.
Our waiter was terrible. He was same thing. You couldn't even get a glass of water refilled. But every night with our friends, dinner was great.
Brandoline, it was Victor's last. Well, it may not have been his last contract. I guarantee it wasn't his last contract. But it was his last day of his contract because his cohort told us that.
He was going on break.
He was friendly to the only one person, and that was the bartender at the crew bar when he got off work. That's it. But off to put a contract out on Victor, so hopefully no other cruiser has to deal with Victor. And I don't mean that to say I wish ill will on him, but when we talk about cruise service, and I really mean this, when what the cruise lines definitely took a big hit during the pandemic with losses, but what they've tried, or what I've noticed, is that they've tried to normalize the reduction of service that we were so used to prior to the pandemic, as if it were a cost-saving measure to recoup their losses from the pandemic. If there were that many losses, these cruise lines wouldn't be coming up with all these new ships. That's all I'm saying.
They're doing great now.
Yeah.
This is the question I have for everybody.
Wait, well, hold on a second. I don't want to hear about, don't normalize the lack of service that we were used to prior to the pandemic, just because you found out that people will deal with it without complaint, because it was the pandemic. But that being said, the truth be told, the only way to get that point across is for cruisers to take a stand. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you, Larry. I am so looking forward to this trip to St. John next week because when I take a broad look at things from the outside in, I remember when I used to laugh at all-inclusive people that only wanted to do all-inclusive. I'll bet if you really took a look at it, the cruise lines are taking advantage. That's not the word I'm looking for. All I'm saying is the service drops and the staff drops. If the pandemic's over, the cruise lines should be getting back to what we were used to, so that they can't say that there are staff shortages, because there's not. There's not a shortage of help. They're trying to save money, and they're doing it at the expense of us. And the only way they're going to listen is if we speak up and spend our money elsewhere. Problem is, nobody's spending their money elsewhere.
No.
But I can tell you, with all honesty, I'm really, really, truly starting to look at other options for my money, value-wise, when it comes to cruising, because you can't keep taking away what made cruising so special to us without me having something to say about it. That's it.
Well, the question I had is, what was the name of your assistant waiter?
I have no idea.
Did you have one?
Yeah, and he was awesome after the fact.
We didn't. We didn't have an assistant waiter.
When I complained to
We
the
did not
maitre
have
d', he was the one I dealt with, and he was great.
Well, we did not have one. So to our poor waiter, I mean, he was getting no help, but we did not have an assistant waiter. Or if we did, he never came around. I mean, literally, it's just, to me, I don't think it's asking that much that the old days, they took your dessert order after you ate.
Marianne Kump says she was honest on her survey, and several other people. Sorry.
Yeah. So the old days, you got done with your meal and then you ordered dessert, and the guy would say, "And who would like coffee?" Well, now because you've already ordered dessert, they just bring it out. And so I had to flag our guy down, and I'm like, could we get coffee? And the very first night I ordered a double espresso, and he was just like, "I've got to go all the way down over there to get it." And I'm like, "Okay, I'll wait." It's like, but then it's like, it was just, you had to ask them to get coffee.
Yeah,
it's like,
it's not
think
about,
that
like,
should be.
I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying I have noticed a major decline in the level of service, and quite frankly, the overall general attitude of the staff to the guests on the last couple recent cruises, right? Like, there's always standouts, right, that are fantastic.
Well, yeah, like when we went on the Icon, and I said to Jamie, I said, they brought the cream of the crop on this ship.
Yeah.
I mean, people are paying $10,000 for a room. They have the best of the best on this ship.
Yeah,
There's
and
no
Cindy,
doubt about it.
Cindy Bridges brings up a good point. Like, it is not outrageous to even think for a moment in any situation, whether you're at Denny's or at, a fancy steakhouse, that if you ordered dessert, you might want coffee. Or, I mean, at Denny's, you're not going to get espresso. But at any normal restaurant, like 5 years ago, if you'd have asked for an espresso at dinner with your dessert, nobody would have batted an eye. But now, hell, I'm not kidding. On Royal, and this is no joke, the last couple cruises I've been on, they find it astonishing that you would like a cocktail prior to your meal.
Yeah.
You know,
well, you learned my trick because sometimes you go on a cruise and at dinner to order a drink is nearly impossible. So I always bring one in with me. There's always the 8 p.m. bar, whatever, right there. I would always get a drink and bring it into dinner because I didn't know if I would get the chance to order another one.
Yeah, but it's not stupid to think that somebody might want coffee after dinner.
I mean, I think that's a given.
Yeah, not
or
espresso, but just coffee.
How about just your water refilled? And I brought this up to many people. So I'll be the first to admit it. I go on a cruise, I do drink a lot, and I forget to drink water. But when I get to dinner and that glass of water is there in front of me, I'm like, here's my chance to drink a bunch of water to catch up. So I try to drink like 4 or 5 glasses of water with dinner. But this cruise, I would drink mine. Next thing I'd know, I'd go to somebody at our table. Are you going to drink your water? They're like, no, why? I'm like, can I have it? They're like, yeah, sure. It's like, here's my thing. If you're that busy, then put a couple big pitchers of water on the table and let people pour it for themselves.
Well,
but I just think the basics are not asking that much. I don't think it's asking that much to get the basics. That's
think
all.
this is my philosophy. Victor taught me this. The staff has learned that they can get away with certain things, and Victor knew because it was his last day, last week of service, that he could just throw it all to the wind. But there's one thing that will always stand out to me. And I've had some really good service from really good people. But one thing I'll always remember, my good friend Tommy Casabona, he does the Always Be Booked podcast. He did an interview with one of the crew members one time. And, asked him point blank, tell me what you think of the guests. And they look at us like cones, like traffic cones, right? Like traffic cones that they have to navigate around to get to the end of their day, right? And it's very clear that they're less interested in what we're interested in as service personnel. But I say that, and now I feel like I'm being negative. That's not what I'm saying. The COOP cruise was great, but overall the cruise industry has just been so eager to cut costs at the consumer has to be smart at some level. The COVID pandemic, yes, obviously a loss was taken by the cruise lines. Cruises weren't being taken. But if we're responsible vacationers and responsible with how we spend our money when it comes to vacations, at some point, Royal, Carnival, all the other cruise lines, Norwegian, all of them, have to realize that you can't keep building these awesome ships saying you're not making a profit, so we have to suffer the losses of the pandemic for you. That's all I'm saying. Let's bring it back. Let's keep the loyals loyal and be less Dollar General with the cruises. Let's bring it more like Macy's. You know what I'm saying? We need less Dollar General and more Macy's.
Just give me the basics. So, in the old day of cruising, your room guy would come around 3 times a day. 3 times. The last time he would turn down your bed and put a mint on your pillow.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
And it's like, okay, I can do without some of that stuff, and I don't have a problem with it at all. Once a day to clean my room is fine. But it's like just
No,
the
I want
basic
twice.
stuff.
I want twice. I want
Well-
twice. I want twice. We had twice before. I want twice now. I don't
Well,
know.
they used to do
I'm
it
not
3
saying I
times.
want
It come
twice.
around 3 times.
I'm not
And
saying I
literally
want
you'd get
twice
there,
from the
and
same guy.
Your sheet and cover would be pulled down. There'd be a mint on the pillow.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying I want twice from the same guy, right? Like I want him to work 17-hour shifts. No. I want what I had before. If you're getting what you had before, which is profits enough to build icon class ships, then I want what I got before, which is service that made me feel welcome. I'm not saying I didn't feel welcome on the COOP cruise, except by Victor. Not saying that, but I am speaking to something that really rings true in this industry. We're coming to a V, right, where eventually the cruise line is going to have to reckon with the fact that there may be more value vacation-wise with your family than the cruise line. Yeah, you might get the idiots. That's fine. Get the idiots, and then you can deal with the rising costs of security that come with the idiots. But don't forget us, the loyalists, the cruisers that know what it's all about, right? That's all I'm saying.
Here's a perspective I have. So, of our
Cindy
friends
Bridges
that went,
thinks Kevin Brubaker's onto something. I don't know if that's good.
So the 3 married couples that were with us, when they like something, they stick to it. That's just the way they are. And on this ship, every night, it didn't matter. At some point, we had to go to the Pig and Anchor. We had to go to the Pig and Anchor bar.
That was the best bar on board.
That was their favorite. And I said to them, I like going there because it has the highest quality liquor.
Yep.
By far.
Yep.
It hands down. It wasn't even close.
Agreed.
I said, why do you guys like going there? Because the one guy would get, he would just say vodka cranberry. He wouldn't even specify a vodka. He's like, oh, it's the 3 bartenders. They are the nicest, funniest people on this whole ship, and they go out of their way to make sure you don't wait long. And I said, I agree. And they're like, so they did pick up on when they got really good service. They picked up on that.
Pig and Anchor was the best. Yep.
Well, they called it the Whistle Pig. They kept saying,
or the Spread Eagle.
No. That's the coffee place. But they kept saying, do you want to go to the Whistle Pig? And I'm like, well, they have Whistle Pig at the Pig and Anchor.
I feel bad for Rick because the whole week he was trying to get that pour spout from the Whistle Pig.
So many people were. My one friend, Brett, he got 2 there. And he'd be staring at the bottle. And he'd look at my glass and he knew I'd be about to order one.
Not the topper. I'm talking about the pour spout.
Oh, yeah. Well, he wanted, my friends wanted the Blanton's topper with the horse.
Yep. Well, listen, Larry, I have meeting with 2 big customers tomorrow.
I think our first 20 minutes were the best.
Yeah, I really do too, Larry. I agree 100%. We were crushing it in that first 20 minutes.
It was the best 20 minutes of the ship show ever. But unfortunately, only we enjoyed it.
We were killing it, Larry. It was our best live stream that nobody witnessed.
I'm going to end the show with one thing. Have a great time in St. John's. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. One of my favorite places I've ever been to. I guarantee you're going to have a great time.
I don't know you crap, Mr. Brubaker. Go to bed. I'm going to go cuddle these 2 awesome dogs that I own. Hey, Luna, Nova, come here. Come here. Come here. Hi, Novies. Say goodnight to the coop. Say
Good night, Mr. Z.
Say goodnight. Luna, come here. Luna, come here. Luna. Oh, my God. Luna! Come here, baby. Say goodnight. Luna. Hey, come here. She's camera shy. She must know what's going on. Listen. Everybody, thanks for watching. The Coop Cruise was amazing. Next week, we will not be live because I think I'll be in St. John. I don't know. I can't keep track of the dates, but I can tell you this. I am so looking forward to parking my butt, Larry, down on a beach in St. John with a high-end cigar while watching the Masters unfold in front of me. You know what I'm saying, Larry?
That sounds pretty incredible to me.
I know we talked about it. You really upped my spirits today when you said that the PGA Championship
I know
will
How
be
cool is
happening
that?
during Bromania.
I know
That's perfect. That's perfect.
I was like, I saw that. I'm like, oh my God. So we'll just replace the Masters with the PGA.
Yeah, and we were at the PGA
we
last
were
year.
last year.
So,
Big
hey,
Al.
we still got to go to Bethpage this year. Larry, let's work it out.
All right.
You think we can, or is it going to be sold out?
Oh, yeah.
For the Ryder Cup?
We could go online and buy.
I want to go to the Ryder Cup, dude.
That would be really cool to go to. No doubt about it. Really cool.
All right. Well, listen, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Well,
be
enjoy
nice
your
to each
time in
other
St.
online.
John.
We will not be live next week. And we will go live in St. John with York and Lisa and Arnold and Dana and everybody else. But we love you all. Don't take any wooden nickels. And remember, all right, we're done.